Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. We are excited to have you here and looking forward to demonstration of our software for standards and STS XML. My name is Pradeep Jain, and I am founder of icTech, the company focusing on intelligent content using Microsoft Word and Office 365. Just a few slides and then we will get into the demo. So who we are and what we do. We provide document workflow automation solutions that is using Office 365, intelligent content, and of course XML behind the scenes, as you'll see in the demonstration. Our customers extend from the Department of Defense to publishers to corporations using different types of XML, different types of documents. We are a very unique company in that way. And what keeps us really excited about the space is there are so many types of documents and so many of them need automation because we humans are just spending way too much time on documents. Of course, now we have AI coming in as well, and we are selectively using AI in our processes. Hopefully, you'll see a little bit of that in the demo. But we really focus on the bottom line. And here is a statement from the former director of the Air Force on their experience with icTech and our software. So she said, Miss Jessica Spencer-Glucci, she said that on a 5-year basis, they saved over 60% cost using the software, and they reduced the average publishing time from 29 days to 11 days. And we hope to show to have you experience the same type of results with our software. Now, the problem that we have in many such situations is that the document workflows are very complicated and they require a lot of back and forth between authors, editors, subject matter experts. Let me find my mouse here. Okay, sorry. The problem we have is the document workflows are complex and time consuming. And there's a lot of back and forth, this conversion from Word to PDF and XML and other formats as well. And then there's multiple rounds of proofing anytime that you do conversion. With our software, we change uh, the life cycle of the content. We change the process so that everyone can be literally on the same page using Office 365 and Microsoft Word. Rather than myself making statements about the software, I'm going to share a video with Kim Cutchins, who was the executive director for the American Peanut Research and Education Society, in her own words. That's just a short 1-minute video. And let me share that real quick.
icTech software is a game changer. It takes anybody else on the market, you send it to them, and it takes 5 to 7 days to get an article done. They send it back to you to review. If there are changes to be made, you have to send it back. That's another 5 to 7 days. I sit down, I read the manuscript, I edit the manuscript, send it to the authors, and when they send it back to me, I make those changes, and within minutes, I have a final product. And I can have that up and on the website again, within minutes. And this is incredibly unbelievable. I've always felt that technology could make a difference and help small publishers get their work out there to be seen at a reduced costs and reduced effort. Um, it gives me complete control over the product. As I said, just to find an all-in-one package that I can sit and do myself. I am not tech savvy. I can work with this product. It is easy to use. It is really and truly a game changer.
So that is the statement from Kim. And let me go back to the PowerPoint here. Um, what you're seeing here on the screen is Microsoft Word along with our software icTools. So that comes in, as you'll see in the demo, in a tab called Intelligent Content. And what we are showing here is something actually quite unique. In many XML editors and applications you may have seen, you cannot do track changes while you are working on a document. Um, you cannot oftentimes do co-editing, but here we are bringing all of that to the table along with the XML. So this picture shows a document being edited by multiple people using track changes while the XML is created by our software. We are also, as I indicated, working with AI, using it selectively and strategically where it's helpful in a document workflow process from an automation standpoint. And we are working with the Copilot as well. That's all for the presentation. We'll move on to the demo. And well, I want to begin by first acknowledging NISO. I was at JetsCon just recently, and they have this tag called "I love standards," and I truly love standards. So here we talk about the STS and icTools. And I'm pretty sure we are all familiar with STS XML. That's the subject of this webinar. But just in case, I brought an example from the ANISO website, and this is what the STS looks like. This, of course, is their STS standard itself. So the process of getting a document from whatever form to this STS XML is part of this webinar. Let's talk a little bit about our software called icTools, and specifically icTools for standards. Because we have many versions. We have icTools for DoD publications, icTools for books and journals, and for S1000D, and so on and so forth. But icTools for standards, you'll be able to find more information about that at www.ictech.com/STS. There are many things that I could say about the software. It's not just one thing. So one important development, as some of you may be aware, is that replacement for xtiles. Inera, which produced the Microsoft Word plugin and now part of Wiley, is discontinuing their software. And we have customers for whom we are replacing Inera with icTools. icTools is also used for authoring standards with Microsoft Word, with or without a template. And we are going to show you a little bit with the ISO template today. icTools is also for conversion of legacy documents to STS. We'll be showing you that demo as well. We have contract with the standards organization where the legacy PDF documents are getting converted using icTools. Now, some of the other things it does, well, it checks your documents, your standards, according to your writing guidelines. And then it really is a platform for developing applications for your needs. So Bill Kestorf actually wrote it very well in his blog at ALPSP website. You might think ICTech as a competitor of Xtiles, but it's not. It belongs upstream of that, of them. It's a way to get really well tagged XML files from raw manuscripts. So hopefully you'll see that in the demos today. Here I have a screenshot of Microsoft Word, as we are all familiar, along with the STS XML structure that comes from our software. So we'll be showing that in our demos. Okay, so we are now moving on to our demos, and we have actually three different demos here. First, I'm going to do the demo of authoring with icTools. It's really actually authoring with Microsoft Word. And I'll use the ISO template and the model document for that. The second demo is conversion of a PDF file or a legacy document. And I'll go through the process of cleaning up the document, styling it, tagging it, checking it, and then finally getting your STS XML. And then the third one is actually a bit more technical. I want to share with everyone that we are happy to train people in your organization on how to configure the software on their own and how to maintain the software. So that's what I'm going to cover in the third demo. So let's get to the first one then. I have a virtual PC for that. Let's go ahead and open that. That's this one. Sorry, this one. Okay. So here I have the DOTX. This actually is right from the ISO website. And it really is just a Word template. So you double click on that and it opens a document. So this is the ISO document template. You, of course, can have your own template, but the idea is still that you're starting with a Word document. So let's just take a quick look at, well, you have your styles, you have your table of contents, and you have certain placeholder words, text sections in the document. And authoring here is really going in Microsoft Word and typing your content or copying and pasting. You really don't have to think about XML at this point because it comes from our software. So how does that happen? Let me show you. Taking the rice sample document. So let's double click on that. And that shows up here. So here is the sample document, once again from the ISO website. And we have different sections in there. It's about 18 pages, as you can see. So here is all the information written in Word. And you can see, actually, you don't have to apply style to much of it. We do require certain styles, but for the most part, it's all the standard styles that you have in your template. Okay. Thus, the use of styles will be more important in the legacy documents, as I'm going to show you in the next demo. Then we have the sections and the subsections. As an author, you would just want to be writing in Word, nothing else. So then the question is, well, how does the XML get in this document? So let's go ahead and close this, and our plugin here uh, called the Intelligent Content Studio, and there's a few buttons here. So really, as you type this document, the structure gets added. So let me just go ahead and click on this, and we have the XML structure here. So you can see you have your front matter, you have the body consisting of a number of different sections. So you can see any of the sections in here. And people don't need to see the XML structure. Obviously, when you think about the authors, typically these are subject matter experts, people who really are not thinking about XML. And here you've got the back, so the appendix, and I can click on one of those, and you can see going to the appendix. So I think the message here is really focus on your content and let the software do the XML.
Thank you, Pradeep. I am Sue Ann Edenhofer, and I will be doing the second part of this demo, which is converting the documents to STS XML. I'm going to start by opening a sample document from here, and I will double click on it. I have a few samples that you can see. I will take this one and open it. This is actually a standard that started as a PDF and is now going through the conversion process to SDS. How do we do that here? First of all, you can see our software intelligent content as a tab, and I will click on it. The tab shows up, and I'll walk you through the different items we have, and I will show more detailed examples as this part of the demo continues. These are applicable, especially when you're doing the conversions of the documents, but you can also use them in ongoing processing of Word documents. I will begin by cleaning up, especially when you have a PDF document, and we all know that there are issues when you are converting from PDF to Word. I will do the technical checks and then apply the styles to this document and then tag the document. This is where you will see the XML structure. We have the compliance checks that we will run, and I will have an example of. And we have metadata that we can specify, and we can create multiple outputs, including XML, HTML, EPUB, etc. So let's go ahead and get started. We will bring to the ease of use or the familiarity with Microsoft Word that most people have. So things appear pretty intuitive and pretty much as part of Word. When we click on Cleanup, it shows us this panel and things that we are able to clean up in such documents. Here we can take care of things like white spaces, several items within white spaces, such as breaks, items within breaks, such as hyphens and dashes, lists, and then tables, hyperlinks, and things like that. When you do the cleanup, simply click on Run, and the software goes to work and takes care of the items that you specify. We move to the next part, which is the technical checks. And here, also, you have this panel that appears, and you can specify the things to be checked. Sometimes people have comments, revisions left in their document. They use the text box and text frames, floating images, canvas images, shapes, floating tables, etc. What the software does is it shows you many of these issues if they are present in the document. So let's go ahead and run this document. You can see here the section 508 compliance, or the document for accessibility, is one more important element. We are always bringing that to the awareness of the user that the document may have images and needs alt text and things like that. Now, once done, the technical checks are complete, and we can move on to the next part, which is styling the document. I can go ahead and close this and click on the Style button. And one of the things we will be bringing in the documents is the STS world, as we define the certain number of styles which need to be applied to convert this to STS. That's actually done with word styles, And just to make it easier for people, we present them here in the different groups. For example, here you have the front group, and then you have the body. But the same thing can also be seen from here. And that's the familiar Microsoft Word style panel. You can see from here the STS styles. Only a few styles need to be applied, not every single paragraph, as you can see. I will place my cursor over here, and you can see it's really whatever it was in the PDF document or in the Word document. The reason for doing this is that it saves time for the user to have to apply styles. They only have to apply a few of them, for example, headings and subheadings. Once the styles have been applied, we can go back to the Intelligent Content tab, and we can tag the document. We have options for tagging the entire document, or depending upon the situation, we have options for tagging certain sections of the document. For the purpose of this demo, we are going to click on tagging the entire document. This is a 20-page document, but you can see on the bottom, the message quickly showed up and now is done applying the tagging, and it shows the panel on the right side. And we can spend a few minutes looking at the structure of this document. There is a front matter, and there is a body, and there's a back matter. And then within the front matter, you have the metadata. And we can click on any of the items here, and the software highlights where they are. For example, this section, you can see the title, the paragraph, the italic within the paragraph list, and so on and so forth. Going to the next section, which is the body, we can click on the body, and then we have many sections. Let's click on this section, and you can see label and title, and then the paragraph, and the cross-reference within the paragraph. Those types of things are automatically tagged. When we go to the back matter, you can see there are different appendix and annex or an annex that are in the document. This one and the second one, and then let's see the third one. Now, as we apply the tagging, the compliant checks panel also came up. And what that does is, to the user, it helps in checking the document and making sure your XML is okay. If I run the compliance checks, it's simply going to show that there are no issues. But I can easily create an issue, and I can show you what happens. This is all real-time validation happening on the fly. For example, if you look at this section, 5.5, I'm going to drop this markup for this element. And now you can see that I've just created an issue with this section. And you can see that it now shows a red X. Let's go ahead and run the checks again. And actually, we can move to anywhere else in the document. And you can see the software is going to bring us to the location where the issue is. When I run check or click run, you can see that we have one XML issue. And I can click in here and it takes me to 5.5, which is where the issue is. Correcting issues can be easy, but of course it depends on the issue. This one happens to be an easy one for the purpose of the demo. You can easily see we have the ones right above 5.3 and 5.4. And if I click here, and let's select this one, I can click on Tagger, and that gives me the options to tag. And I click OK, and then you'll see that this particular issue is going to be corrected, and there's no longer a red X. So we have corrected that section. So the process is from left to right in the following order. First, you have the cleanup, and then you can see we have the technical checks, the styling, the tagging structure, the compliance check, and then we have the metadata. We can click on the metadata, and you can see that there is metadata that's already picked up from the document. We can change the metadata value, and let's go ahead and do that and click on apply. And that gets the metadata added to this document. And now I can go ahead and click on XML to get the XML version for this document. If I go to the folder where the sample document is, you can see I have the 4 samples, but the XML is going to be created in a folder of its own. And all of the images have been extracted there. So we're going to click on the XML button. And there, the XML export is complete. And we're going to open that up with Microsoft Edge, and you can see that all of the tagging is completely done by icTools properly. We can scroll through that, and you can see all the different tagging. Good. We also have buttons here for creating the HTML, EPUB, and then we also are in discussion with a company that creates the PDF from the STS XML, but that button currently is not enabled. That, in a nutshell, is icTools for taking the legacy document and converting and giving you the XML output. Pradeep will now come back for the third part of the demo, and he will be doing more of the technical details. And as he says, it's like showing you how the food is cooked. Thank you.
So for this part of the demo, I'd like to focus on the configuration of the software with what we call Intelligent Content Studio. So let me go ahead and click on this. Once again, this is designed more for XML professionals, people who would be able to configure the software for your own needs and for your documents. So in here, you can see a few different buttons. And one of them that we have here is the Intelligent Content Studio setup. So let's go ahead and click on the edit conversion definition. When we do that, uh, the STS schema actually shows up in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Some of you may find this more familiar. So we look at the root element, the front and the body and the back. Then within the front, you can see the different parts, the body, the different parts, and the back, the different parts. Now, how do we configure the software? So there are these things that we call conversion definitions. And if I click on this one, it's going to show me a list of the different items. So for example, if I'm going to do, let's say, let's just pick something which is, let's say, front section title. So we go ahead and select that, and let's double click on it. So the definition shows up in here. Let's go ahead and close this. Now it's a paragraph element. So this is actually a title in the front section, and that's specified by the schema. Now the text pattern here is really very simple. It's a regular expression that's either the national or the forward. So for example, this section would get tagged as the front section. And if we have a national in here, that would get tagged as the front section as well. Now, this is, then let's take this to the next level and let's look at, for example, the body. So we can go ahead and take a look at titles. Let's just go ahead and click on this one. And I can look at actually the different titles right from here, or I can look at them from here. So let's look at the body element and the titles in here. So there are so many titles in these documents, as you very well know. So here is the body title, and let's go ahead and click on that. Now, as you can see, this one actually falls in multiple different types. So there's the pattern group 1, 2, and 3. And one of them is the text pattern being a certain regular expression and the font style being bold. The second one is the text pattern being something. This is determined by your developers based on the analysis of your rules, based on your documents, if you're converting legacy documents. And then the third one is the font size, which is in this case greater than or equal to 20. Adding rules here is fairly straightforward. You can simply click on an item, and there are many options for you to add rules in here. And by simply, for example, here I can select the text pattern, and then I can do a right click, and then I can define the pattern in here. So I could do a literal pattern, I could do a regular expression, I could do a wildcard, I could do a keyword list, all of those possibilities. So with the combination of mapping in this manner, we make the tagging as automated as possible. That, in a nutshell, is the demo of how we configure the software. Typically, it could take a few sessions working with developers to get them started. We do this by webinars or in-person workshops for organizations. So thank you for watching this. We'll move to the next part of the webinar now.
Hello, everyone. We're back to the next section of the webinar. So I'm Sue Ann, and I have Pradeep with me, and this is the Q&A section where we're going to ask questions that came from the registration for the webinar, or also some questions I've received from the various different connections and contacts I have with LinkedIn. So the first question I'm going to ask is, we see that you can do conversion of old documents to SDS and authoring of new standards in Word. And the question also states you've indicated checking documents against style guides. What types of checks can the software do?
So we support many items from your style guide. Uh, any organization that's developing standards is going to have a style guide for how to write things, and that can include things like how to address committees, how to use branding, how to use certain nomenclature. There's also some standard things such as references and citations, and those are all can be part of checking the document.
Okay, good. Thank you. And then another question that we had is, do you offer an online version of icTools as well?
Yes, actually. So recently we have started to offer online version for Office 365. In fact, it's available from the Microsoft Store. And what we'll do is we'll include the link in the PowerPoint when we send it out to everyone. But the way that we do it is we are offering it for different types of XML. So the version that we have right now is for legal documents. We are working on the STS version, and also for everyone here, you know that the online version of Word offers less of the functionality than the desktop version at this point. So at this point, the desktop version is the best, but we do also have an online version.
Good, thank you. And then one of the most common questions that obviously people like to ask is, what would be the pricing model for icTools?
So this is a software as a services, as it's called, a subscription pricing model. So based on the number of users that are going to be using the software, that's essentially the license. Now the professional services, that's on top of that, and that includes any customization of the software, configuring the software for your specific needs. That's the license model.
So when we're looking at the pricing model, it really is going to determine what the needs are of each individual customer or company that's coming to us. And so it's very difficult to necessarily have a specific price that we can say that would be straight across the board. But to contact us, and then based on your needs, then Pradeep and other members of the team would be able to help you on what that would translate into.
That's correct.
For the next question, what are the options for conversion of documents to SDS?
So we offer two different options. One is the conversion can be done as a service. So we work with our partners, and they can do the conversion for you as a totally outsourced service. Or the second option is we can set it up so that you have a do-it-yourself type of thing. Now, keep in mind that if you are interested in do-it-yourself model, then you do need to have people who are a bit more familiar with XML and a bit more on the technical side.
Okay, good. So we are moving into NISO STS standard, but still have some documents from ISO XML as well as some from older SGML and XML content. What can your software do? What can icTools do?
Yeah, so we see this situation in bigger organizations, and it's sort of a mixed bag because organizations have tried to do XML before, and now NISO has the standard. And as I indicated in the presentation, our software is really a platform for developing applications. It's actually a little bit difficult for people to see that it's a platform. It's not just a product. But we would be happy to talk to you about any XML conversion or XML to XML or HTML to XML type of things, and how our software can be helpful. We do offer a number of different features which are applicable to those scenarios.
Thank you. And I know that, especially with this webinar, that's an important question to have answered. The next question is one that I have received numerous times now in the various different messaging I receive from contacts that I've received through connections with LinkedIn. And that is everyone's curiosity regarding AI. And so I wanted to make sure this question was brought to this section because more people want to know, especially with icTools being a software based product, what are we doing when it's concerning AI, or as people have generically mentioned also, in terms of just any emerging technology? How is icTools or icTech keeping up with AI, and what does that mean for the software?
Yeah, well, that is an important question for anyone who is in the content space today. And I can tell you, and I'll include the links in the PowerPoint as well. So we have a presentation that actually I'm doing with my colleague Joe Gollner in Convex 2025 in April 7th, I think, just in about a couple of weeks in San Jose. The topic is AI, XML, and Microsoft Word working together. That's one. We have a webinar coming up at the end of the month, end of April, on the use of AI and XML for documents. Well, one of the things that we are doing with the icTools for AI applications is we are helping uh, with the data prep step, which is preparing your data for use by AI application. And we'd be happy to talk to anyone who's interested in that. And like I said, I will also include the links in the PowerPoint.
Good. Yes, that's also what I wanted to emphasize too, is that there are some other webinars coming up as soon as next month where we are actually addressing those issues, and we will make sure that everyone has access to that information. Thank you so much for everyone for your questions.
So we are on our last slide now. And I just want to thank everyone for your time to attend the webinar, and want to offer some helpful resources here. So we have our page about STS and what we support within STS on www.ictech.com/STS. There also is our flyer for icTools for standard. Now, for those of you interested in replacement of Inera X styles, we just published a case study from Denmark's publisher uh, who replaced Inera X styles with icTools. So please take a look at that. Uh, I am excited to share with you that I will be presenting at the Convex conference along with my colleague Joe Gollner uh, in San Jose on April 7th. And the topic there is AI, XML, and Microsoft Word working together. It truly is exciting to be seeing the developments and sharing this with the community. Uh, and then the next webinar that we have is on AI and intelligent content for government efficiency. Let me just take you through the pages from our website. So for the STS, when you look at within the products page, you'll see we have the standards STS page here. You can go to the icTools page from here. So you click on that, and then you'll be able to see information about icTools. We have the case study within the resources. So if you click on the case studies, and then you will see the first one. So that's in here. There is also a PDF copy of the same. So if you want to share with your colleagues. And then we have the Convex Information Management Center webinar. We look at the agenda for Monday. Our presentation is part of the Technology Test Kitchen, and it's about AI, XML, and Microsoft Word working together. Thank you again. Have a good day.